What if I told you the worst day of your life, the moment everything collapsed, was actually the beginning of something bigger? So people talk a lot about losing hope, being in a dark place. But you know what really nobody prepares you for? The feeling that even the universe has abandoned you. Yes, forget about being lost or struggling. This is exactly the point where there are no signs, no miracles, no reassurance from an external source that things are going to get better. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try. It's just you stuck in the silence, and that silence, it's loud as hell. At one point in my life, when things went south, I wasn't just angry. I was raging at the universe, at God, if God was even real, at my circumstances. But the truth was that I was angriest at myself. And you know, when you are in a really dark place, self-sabotage is one thing that is at its peak. I used to ask questions repeatedly like, how did I let it get this bad? Like, I used to replay the movie of my life in my head whose ending I already knew. One scene after another, one heartbreak after another, and then another. It was like an endless loop of disappointment. And there were no solutions, just pain. And then, it suddenly hits you that you have no idea where you are going next, what you are going to do. But here's what people don't tell you often. Rock bottom isn't the end. I can tell from my own personal experience and otherwise that it's the reset. And if you know how to use it well to your advantage, it can be one of the most powerful turning point of your life. So in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to rebuild when it feels like you have nothing left, step by step. We are going to be breaking down why rock bottom happens, the hidden transformation behind it, and most importantly, how to rise again. Because trust me when I say this, that no matter how bad you feel right now, it's not over. And by the end of this video, you're gonna see why. Okay, so before we talk about rebuilding, we need to understand why rock bottom feels so unbearable in the first place. Right? Like, it should just feel like another setback. You fall down, you get up, and you move on. But why does it feel so different? Now imagine training your whole life for something. Being an athlete or a doctor, or perhaps dreaming of getting into your favorite college. Who knows? So you do years of hard work, you do everything right, and then suddenly it's ripped away. Maybe you get injured, maybe life throws you an unexpected curveball. Whatever it is, the thing that made you you is now gone. This is not just anymore about dealing with plain shot failure, right? You are dealing with an identity crisis. Because now that you're not an athlete anymore, if you are not the person you spent years becoming, well then who the hell are you, right? That's the key difference between a rock bottom and a setback. Setbacks, yes, sure they hurt as hell, but rock bottom, it shatters you. So when your entire sense of self collapses, there's actually a term for it. Psychologists call it ego death. So Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time, he described it as the moment when your identity, the person you thought you were, completely breaks down. This forces you to rebuild from scratch. And ego death, it's not random. Right? It doesn't just happen by itself. There has to be some sort of a trigger. It might be a massive failure, or maybe a heartbreak, or maybe a loss that shakes you so hard that you don't even recognize yourself anymore, right? This is exactly the point where your subconscious mind starts rejecting your old beliefs and identities, the ones that don't serve you anymore. To explain you clearly, I'll give an example. Let's say there's an old operating system on your phone. It works fine for a while, and even though it's not perfect, it's still meeting your needs. But eventually, the apps stop running, the glitches start, and now there's a real problem because you don't even get the bare minimum out of it. No matter how much you try to hold on to that, it's just not working anymore. And so now it's time to finally upgrade the software. That's exactly what happens when your subconscious realizes your old identity no longer works for you, right? The system that you were running on, it has now become outdated. And the hard truth is, whether you like it or not, life is forcing you to upgrade. It's not a choice anymore. This is why hitting rock bottom can be really terrifying, because we don't know exactly what is happening. So what actually happens is that you enter an in-between space where it feels like probably nothing is happening, like you're stuck in some sort of a limbo with no way out. This is the period where most people get lost, and because the pain feels so unbearable, they start searching for quick solutions to escape, anything to make the pain go away. It's like standing in the middle of nowhere, caught between your past and your future, but belonging to neither. So in Tibetan Buddhism, Bardo is the transitional state between two lives. It is the space where the old self has dissolved, but the new self has not yet emerged. The ancient texts describe Bardo as a place of uncertainty where the soul drifts detached from everything it once knew. It's like neither here nor there, neither past nor future. This is why in Tibetan Buddhism traditions, monks pray for the dead, not just to guide them to their next life, but to help them to surrender to the unknown. Because the only way to get out of Bardo is through it. There is no shortcut. And just like the soul in the Bardo, you are caught between who you were and who are you meant to become. That's why rock bottom may feel like hell. And despite how it feels in the moment, the real key is how you deal with it, with that space, and come out of it. Because believe it or not, this is one of the most profound moments of your life, where your soul is being reshaped. And not just the ancient texts, even the nature shows us this exact process. In a way, a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Think about it. People think that a caterpillar just grows wings inside the cocoon. No, it doesn't. Inside the cocoon, actually something brutal happens. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings and fly away becoming a butterfly. It dissolves completely inside the cocoon. Its entire body melts into a shapeless liquid, nothing but raw potential. And if nature teaches us one thing, it is that destruction is never the end. It's just the beginning of something new. Because after every collapse, there is a blueprint for rebuilding, and that's exactly I'm going to discuss it in this section. So let's go back to the moment where everything collapsed for me. The moment where I thought, well, this is it. There's no coming back from this. Days after days, months after months, it was just the same for me. I used to wake up every day waiting for things to get better, but they didn't. And here's the thing. People say that time helps, but it didn't in my case. At the end of the day, what you do with that time matters. And when you are operating under Murphy's law, where it feels like everything that can go wrong in life will go wrong, you stop trying, because what's even the point, right? So, but you have to understand that even this has a breaking point, in the sense you can't just stay stuck forever, right? That's the rule. At some point, you either wake up or you break for good. And for me, that breaking point was the moment I realized that changed everything. Sure, 99% of my life was out of control, and that helplessness almost destroyed me, right? But that 1%, that was still mine, wholly mine. Because no matter how small it seemed, I was willing to work with that 1%. Mold it, break it, whatever it took, because it was totally mine. Why this mindset actually worked for me? Because it gave me an immediate sense of ownership over something in the middle of the chaos, and that's a very important thing to realize. Where everything is out of my control, I have still something in my hand. I didn't feel powerless anymore, right? Understand this. Even in the tiniest bit of it, yes, is just gold. And I like to call this as the phoenix reset. Because here's the truth. You don't fix your life by obsessing over everything that went wrong, nor by taking one giant risk. It doesn't work that way. You fix it by focusing on what's still in your control. And this is universal. No matter where you are in the world right now, no matter how bad things may seem, there's always something within your power. So here's my challenge to you. What's the one thing right now, no matter how small, that you still have control over? Because transformation doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with just one teeny tiny controlled move in the right direction. Transformation is not about hoping for a breakthrough. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about fully committing even when it feels terrifying. Like Bruce Wayne in that pit, sometimes you don't climb out until you remove the safety net. Until you stop waiting for things to fix themselves and you start rebuilding from where you are with whatever you got. Your own 1%, because that's what rebuilding actually looks like in reality. Not one massive leap, but one controlled action, one brick at a time in the right direction. This action is so powerful because it's a constant reminder that you still hold power, even in chaos. So to sum it up, the Phoenix Reset is the process of shifting your focus from what's broken to fully committing to whatever is still in your control, no matter how small or uncertain it may seem. That's how you take your power back. You stop being the victim of your story and start rewriting it. And this isn't just some abstract idea. This is a blueprint for rebuilding. Before I wrap this up, here's what I want you to do. Let me know in the comments, what's the one small move you're making today? What's your 1%? And if you resonate with this video, make sure to subscribe because part 2 is coming soon, where we break down the 3 pillars of the Phoenix Reset and exactly how to start rebuilding from ground up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.